This is a, and our vowels are?
A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y.
And this is?
Consonant.
And those are?
All the other letters.
There we go. All right, a closed, I'll just do this one. A closed syllable, once again, ends in a consonant, and the vowel says it's sound, and those are usually short sounds, right? Like a, I. Our open syllable ends in a vowel, and the vowel says its name, A-E-I-O-U. A syllable is a word or part of a word with one vowel sound. And the suffix is what we add to the end of the word that might alter or change the meaning. And that's what we've been working on with es, ed, ing, ly. That's what a suffix is when we add it to the end of a base word. Does anybody know what it's called when you add something to the front of a word to change it? Does anybody know? Keep it right there. Does anybody know what it's called when you add something at the beginning of a word? You call it a suffix when it's added to the end of the word. Does anybody know what it's called at the beginning of the word? We'll be talking about those next week, and those are called prefixes. Pre means before, so it'll be at the beginning of the word. All right. We've been mostly doing vowel suffixes, ed, ing, est, er, ed. We haven't got into too many consonant suffixes, but we will at some point. All right, this is, and we add es after a word ends in ch, sh, s, x, or z. Add es, and you'll please me. All right. At the end of a one-syllable word, after one short vowel, is spelled D-G-E. And this one was on your quiz Friday, right? When I said you should have put D-G-E, okay? All right, let's go quickly. It's very finicky. D. Okay, don't say on the end of it, just D. No English word ends in V, always followed by a silent E. Because we've done two sounds with Y. U, oo. Ain't, a, it, I. Ing, b, w, and back to the beginning. All right, we'll do our blending deck. Maybe. All right, we still have our blends at the beginning, so make sure all the time, whatever letters are here, you got to put all of them together before you get to that vowel. So I got to put that SCR together. Scr, like I'm going to say scream, but I'm not. Scr, and then I put the end of it. Script.
Chick.
Chick.
Chick. Click.
Come on, guys, wake up.
Sprick. Spree.
Spree, open or closed? Open, because it ends in A, and the vowel says it's
Name.
good.
Stress. Stress.
Stress.
Strand. Strong. Scrawn. None. None.
Enough.
No. None. Loss. Loss. Low. Blow.
Ah, that would be blue, even though we wouldn't say it that way. Lutch. Lie. And live. Alright, good. That's pretty good. Alright, let's see if we can get these. Let's see, today is lesson 15, so that's what we need. Alright, all of these have suffixes on the end except for the last column. So here they added ES because Y, it ended in an X. Y, it ended in an S. Did not here because it's just a regular G. CK didn't have to add ES, but here's that CH again. If it ends in CH, SH, SX, or Z, we add the ES so that you please me, right? All right, let's read this first column. Normal speed today, okay, ready?
Foxes, misses, snacks, cracks,
Pitches, good. All right, let's read the second column. These all have a T or a D at the end of a base word, so we know it's going to say id. Our lesson today is going to talk about a different sound when it makes a T sound at the end instead. But today, because it ends in a T and a D, you know this ed is going to say id, okay? All right, so this would be last id, tested, landed, sanded, melted. When we get to the third column, these are once again suffixes. This time we have a consonant suffix with ly. And I told you that an ly always makes a word an adverb, okay? It means in a way of doing something. So in a way of being hot, the word would be hotly. And let's go down to this one with the ly. In a way of being quick would be quickly. All right, here's that EST. Remember, we say when you're comparing more than two. So this word would be quickest. Okay, he was the quickest of all. And then our ing means it's happening right now. She was singing. Okay, here's quicker, only comparing two things. Trinity is quicker than Jaden. Okay, you never know. All right, and then the last one, you can see they're only one syllable. So we know that Y is going to say I, okay? So let's read the last column. Sky, fly.
Try, by, my.
Good job, Remington. I can hear you really well. You're doing a great job. All right. Our new one today is also using ED, where it can say a D sound like id, but it can also make a T sound when we have an ED at the end, okay? Let's see when it does. Let's see if we can read this column. They're all going to make the D sound at the end. Let's listen. Filled. Just repeat after me instead. Filled. Filmed.
Found.
Jazzed.
Jazz.
Skilled.
Skilled.
Spelled. And all those had a D sound. Well, this next column, it's going to make a T sound. And even though that ED's there, it's going to make a sound of T. Repeat after me. Rushed.
Rushed.
Listen for that T at the end. Dished.
Dished.
Crushed.
Crushed.
Bumped.
Bumped.
Pinched.
Pinched.
Okay, do you hear the end of it being a T in sound? And that's where some of our spelling mistakes come, because you hear that T at the end, but it's really not. If I said I bumped into my friend, I know I'm talking about something I did, so I know it's got to be an ED, but it made a T sound, so it kind of throws me off. All right, this one's mixed up. It might make a D sound, it may make a T sound. Repeat after me. Asked,
Asked.
jumped,
Jumped.
grilled,
Grilled.
thrilled,
Thrilled.
hushed.
Hushed.
Okay? Now, so just remember that's always going to be an ED. Sometimes it's a D, sometimes it's a T sound, okay? But you never say, I jumped-a-did on the bed. Okay, because that's what happens. You see that ED and you want to say jumped, but you hear a T, and so instead you say jumped-a-did because you think it should have a D sound on it when you hear it, okay? But it doesn't. So if it makes a T sound and it has an ED, it's okay. Don't change it to jumped-a-did, okay? Because it's not a real word, all right? All right, let's go ahead and get ready to do our,
OG.
let's do our SRS.
OG.
And I'm going to have somebody come up today. I'm going to go with, we had 2 people that had a perfect paper on their OG quiz. And so I'm going to have one of them be our first ones, and that's going to be Wyatt. Wyatt's going to come up and be our first one to get to write on my whiteboard. Okay, now a couple rules when you write on the whiteboard. One, I have to keep it a lot lower, right? Because you're going to actually write on the whiteboard. You don't need anything, Wyatt. You don't need anything, okay? All right, so I'll have to erase and move it up a lot because we're not as tall as I am. You're going to actually write right over here, okay? And he's going to do the sounds first, and you got to really be careful with this board right here. I'm actually going to unplug it until I'm finished. All right, so you're going to start right here. You may pick which color you want, but whatever color you pick, you have that color the whole time. We're not going to stand there and change it, okay, every time we do a color. All right. So the first sound, see if you can get yours written before he does and see if yours is right. First sound is ing, ing, like in sing. Ing, like in sing.
Got it. What happened there?
Sometimes you might have to pull your sleeve up because sometimes your sleeve will hit the screen. All right, first sound was ing. Excellent. Second sound is id. Don't worry about the other stuff. Id, like planted. Id, like planted. Third sound is lee, like quickly. Like quickly, L-Y, like quickly.
Okay, you got me.
And the fourth sound is ist. Ist, like in tallest. Ist, like in tallest. All right, let's check his sounds first. ING is correct. ED is correct. LY is correct. EST is correct. All right, review words to spell. You know you're going to use that ING, and the word is fishing. Fishing. He went fishing at the pond. Fishing. Second word, ended. Ended. That is how the story ended. Try to do it yourself without looking up there. Only use it to check. And then just erase in pictures. Always try yours first. All right, third one is quickly. Quickly. We had to move quickly during the fire drill. Quickly. No. All right, fourth word is fastest.